Well, hi and welcome to my beautiful office. I thought I'd share with you my experience with the Revo ring, the ND filter system that I needed to help me out with being quick and efficient with filming wildlife, and then being able to quickly take it off and start photographing if I need to. And that's the problem with me. I love doing both. I'm constantly sidetracked by things that happen behind me while I'm filming something in front of me. And yeah, occasionally I rip it off the tripod and start photographing something over here. So I needed a solution that would help me out in that department as best as possible. This is something that I desperately needed to help me with filming wildlife. I've gone away from camcorders. They have all the tools that you need built in. ND filters, have a hoodie on the front to stop any light flares, those sort of things. But I've gone over to the mirrorless cameras now. I've gone for the R5C cinema camera for the much higher end detail and also be able to work in very low light. But when we're out in very bright light, we need ND filters. That's to help out with any problems with the actual footage. So if I don't have an ND filter system on and it's very bright, I've got to push up something, say my shutter speed. And that's not going to help with having natural looking images. So, going like that, there's a little tiny touch of blurring. If I push the shutter speed up too high, you start to lose that sort of blurring and it looks slightly unnatural. And going the other way, we just make a hell of a mess. So we can do a little bit in that department with pushing our shutter speed up just a touch, but we can't go very far at all. So filming in 25 frames per second, we need to double that. So 50 frames, shutter speed of 50 is what we would normally use. I have gone up to 100 without this system, just to help out. If we use our aperture to try and fix things up, then we're going to have issues with a slight juttering effect if we're pushing up beyond f11. So keeping our aperture at a lower level is just something we have to do. So using the ND filter helps us out in that department, keep things under control. Something else that we need to keep under control is our ISO. So with the R5C, I use wide dynamic range mode. It just works beautifully for me. But if I push up the ISO or bring it down to shut down and let less light in, then I'm changing the wide dynamic range of the image. So instead of it being very close to 14 stops dynamic range, we're lessening it down. So going either way beyond what its native ISO is, which is 400, we're introducing issues with dynamic range. We're losing dynamic range. So we don't want that. We want to keep all these things under control, and the ND filters are the best way to go. So having an ND filter system that is variable is so appealing, makes things so much quicker than what I've had to do in the past. You can understand what I'm talking about. Pulling out and putting in another ND filter, just having a whole heap beside you when you're filming as the light changes is a pain in the ass. We don't want to be doing that. We just want to simply just quickly slightly adjust to keep control of our exposure. Now the problem with this system that I bought is that I wanted just the ND filters. I didn't want the polarizer on the front. But unfortunately in Australia you cannot get the cheaper version, the one without the polarizer. But in saying that, it has helped me out a couple of times already. I had a snake swimming in the water, took the glare off the water, helped out in that department. But also if I go on holidays, the polarizer comes in handy for doing waterfalls, all those sort of things, taking the glare off rocks and things like that. So in the end, I actually am glad that I couldn't buy the other one. The polarizer has come in handy. The thing to watch with this, and this is the negative with ND filters, is we can't go too strong. The camera struggles to focus if we go too high with our ND filters, and that's why camcords are limited to like 3 or 4 different types of strengths with ND filters, because you start to struggle with focusing. The Revo ring goes or starts from 1.5 stops of light all the way up to 10. 10 is far too high. What I found is keeping it to 4 stops of light is just perfect. Negative thing about the Revo ring for me is actually getting it to fit onto the lenses. My complaint with this is that they're far too tight. The spring loads on this are really tight. I know that they've had to do this so that it doesn't fall off, because all I do with this is just put it onto the lens, let it go, it hooks into the thread, and we just do a slight turn and it's done. Hooked on, it's never going to come off. So anyway, I really struggle to put it on the lens. Getting it off's easy, but I really struggle to get it right. There you go. So we go anti-clockwise when you're holding it like that, so that we can fit it onto any of our lenses. You need both hands. You need the camera on the tripod, or like you've got like here, you'd have to stand it up, the whole camera up like that, or put it between your legs to get it on if you're going to hand hold. So it's just a matter of doing that and let it go. Now, the second problem that I have with the Revo ring is when the sun's coming around and we're getting light onto the lens, potentially getting lens flares and causing dramas. We can't put the hood back on. It's far too big. So that's quite a big area when you look at it away, around the lens itself. There isn't anything out there that I could see to buy, to put on. So I thought, I'm really good with my hands, I'm very inventive, so let's make one ourselves. As you can see on here, that we only have a very small area to be able to put something on. So I got my old brain ticking away, and I thought, let's go and have a look at my plumbing supplies, because I'm a bit more than a handyman. I've been in the building industry all my life. I built my own house and I have a lot of bits and pieces put away just in case something happens. I've got spare stuff sitting there for any dramas. So I've gone out into the shed, had a look at my plumbing supplies, and I came up with something pretty quickly, and it only took me less than an hour to put together. So here is my DIY sunshade hoodie for the Revo variable ND filter system. I found a PVC floor flange for a toilet system that's the perfect size and shape for my RF 100-500L lens. I then measured and marked it out to size and design. I cut it into shape, stopping every now and then to check that it was working out with my lens. I saved 2 offcuts from the side to use as hooks to hold a rubber band that would keep the sun hood tightly in place. I heated them up on a flame and bent them into shape. Then I fixed them into place with PVC glue. I cut a piece of felt for the inside of the flange to stop the lens from being scratched. It also helps the sun hood to grip to the lens better. And I used silicone to glue it into place. Well, here is the end product. As you can see, simple, quick, easy, as long as you've got the bits and pieces in your back shed. Otherwise, you're just going to have to go and buy them. It's worked brilliantly for me. The only thing left I have to do is, you know, spray paint it or cover it with a sticker or something. I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, I like it. It's worked out really nice for me. So we've got that on. You can see it's there. That's nice. It's pretty solid, but I can still move it around if I like. It's not influencing our barrel at all. So I don't know whether you can see that properly, but it's not touching here at all. Let's see how easy it is to put our Revo ring on. Again, it'd be easier on a tripod. Anyway, get that down. I always like to start with the levers down the bottom, so that we can just turn this around and get it in the right spot. So that's about it. I can put that to the side, so you know, sun's coming in this side. I can move these around without any dramas. There's plenty of room there. We line it up on the side here. We can see our numbers and put it onto the floor so that I get my exposure right. Everything's good. So my overall opinion on the Revo ring is, yeah, thumbs up. It's the best solution for being reasonably quick and efficient at putting it on, taking it off as you need. So if you're someone like me who loves to film things but also can't resist photographing something behind us at the same time, and you want to be able to, you know, take it off quickly, that is the best system that I could come up with. I didn't mention that we don't get the problems with vignetting or anything like that around the sides. It's all perfect. I haven't had a drama with that. So as a whole system, it's fantastic. As an ND filter, variable ND filter, it just works fantastic. I'm happy. We've come to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. I'd highly recommend this if you're going to be doing filming like I am, and of course for photography, going up to 10 stops of light, you know, cutting down that water from a waterfall, slowing it right down. All those sort of things to do with photography is fantastic as well. Not that I do a lot of that, it's more for the filming. And you also got a bit more than I thought I'd be talking about, and that is why you should have one for filming wildlife or any sort of filming. Yeah, they're a must. That got weaved in there somehow. And my amazing DIY project, a sun hood that works brilliantly, and we can just turn it to the angle that we want without any hassles, just looking at scraps that we have laying around. The only thing left for me to do is to come up with a solution for my wide-angled kit lens. Yeah, we'll just ponder on that one for a little while. It's a bit hard to sort of fit anything on that one, but me being the inventive person I am, I'm sure I'll come up with a solution very soon. That's all I've got for you for today. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face just down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell, you'll get notification whenever I do anything else. And of course, if you liked it, it'd be awesome if you give me the thumbs up. It just helps a hell of a lot with my poor little channel to grow. If you would like to go and have a look at all the other mad and crazy things I've been doing in the past, click on my icon right here at the end of this video. It takes you to my channel. I talk about photographing and filming in a forest and open forest environments. Talk about birds in flight, all of those sort of things to do with photography. And when I go on adventures, I always take you with me. And when I buy cameras and camera accessories, I do reviews on them and give you my honest opinion on them. So go and have a browse. There'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. And always remember, if you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing, filming wildlife, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.